and I've missed quite a lot as Vin Blank is now on pole. 0.7, that's a very good lap. I remember doing the and I believe there was a pole position time of a 1:07.5 from Luca, I believe it was. So that just goes to show. That just goes to show the lap time, really. Yeah, I think the quality has got better. I'm just checking out the YouTube now, so the quality has got better. So I'm glad I've got that sorted before the race, actually. Got shown just I think he's starting a lap. Yeah, he is. So let's stay on board Bruce Vandervoort up into Casino, I believe, and then we're coming downhill to the Marylebone hairpin, sorry, Miribone, getting confused with Monopoly, and that is the Lowe's hairpin, and it's been very tidy so far from shown. And into Portier, I believe, where Jenson Button and Pascal Wehrlein. I was about to say Esteban Gutierrez, but I think people will know why that's on my mind. Then into the chicane. It's been very tidy so far, very, very tidy, and that is to back into the swimming pool, carrying a lot of speed through there, into the chicane, takes it easy. I think he knows he's on a good lap. He's into Raskas, takes it very nicely, into the anti-nose corner and up to the line, and I believe this is a very competitive lap time here. Yeah, well, P5, not bad at all, and I think unless he backs off and he's got enough fuel for another lap, that is shown, but into P5, that's a good performance from shown. I think he'll be happy with it. Alex PC was on the supers earlier in qualifying. Now on the flying lap. I've got the Stinner in the chat saying, geez, he crashed. He thinks he's going to start P11, but I don't think he is. He's P7 at the moment. As Alex PC jumps across the chicane and Sean does retire, so he's not going for another lap. But it has to be said, the top two are on the out lap. There's only 3 tenths between them, and you can find a lot of lap time through commitment here. So but Alex PC across the line, is he going to improve? No, he doesn't, so maybe just a warm-up lap there. I'm going to go on board with Jesper now because he actually produced a very good early lap time in qualifying without the track evolution, so let's see what he can do. Got yellows in sector 2, hopefully that does not affect drivers on their flying lap. And no one's doing a Nico Rosberg and faking a lock-up to go down the escape road and finish qualifying. But it looked very nice from Jesper there. Second gear through Portier, I like that. I think that is the way to go. This wheel you can gain a lot of time, and that was very nice. That was very nice. So through to back. Carries a nice amount of speed, just taps the wall a little bit, but that's good. You can carry a lot of speed. How's the change of direction through here? It's okay again, tapping the wall, so he's really pushing. He'll get away with that in qualifying, but I think it's going to be a good lap here. Through the anti-nose. This looks really quick. Ooh, P3. Good job from Jesper though. But now it's the two big guns from the early part of qualifying, Fnatic and Vin Black. I wouldn't rule out people, well, Destiny's not going fast enough. Alex PC is actually out doing a Nico Rosberg. Miles, let's go across the line with Miles, just because he's almost there. Is he going to move up from P9? He is P8. Knocks Stinner down a position. That's a bit annoying for Stinner on the supers. Oh, and Vin Black just crashes a little bit into the, turns in too early to back. Fnatic is the only man who can take pole position away from Vin Blanc. Very tight line through Raskas into the anti-nose corner. And to the line, is he going to do it? I don't think he is for some reason. Oh, I don't know. No, he isn't. His steering wheel hasn't changed. Nah, he just didn't look to be carrying enough speed through sector 3 for me. I don't think he would have improved, but still, he is in a very good position. A great qualifier. I'm not knocking that. But that, and that's why Stinner said he was P11, because he's got 5-second grid penalty. But Vin Blanc, pole position by 3/10, that's quite comfortable in the end. Fnatic in P2, Jesper P3, Marin P4, who had showed great pace but crashed in the early part of qualifying. Destiny also didn't crash but good pace, P5, LSPC 6th, Shone 7th, Miles 8th, Stinner 9th, Bjorn 10th, Brennan 11th, Rip and Run 12th, and Spur 13th. And it's Katami's 14th. Unfortunately, he's got a qualifying ban for this track, and I take my hat off to him for remembering. But the reason he did ban, so probably encouraged him to remember. Just checking out the quality again, because this is the thing, like sometimes I can get away with 1080p and I think that's the best thing to have on YouTube, but other days when the internet's feeling a little bit under the weather, 720p gets a stream out for all you guys with no problems, and that is why I have chosen it in the past. But I think I'll better get away with it today, because it's good to see around Monaco. You really want to see in detail people's lines around the corners, and let's hope we get away from the line we do in the formation lap. And now I can actually really see the quality. Yeah, it is better than 720p for sure. Didn't like the blurriness on it. It felt a little bit almost pointless. But no, that's a lot better. So we've got people being disqualified from the formation lap, which on another track could really hurt you. Here it's still a bit frustrating on the harder tyres to get disqualified, but there's a short run to turn 1 and obviously it's very tight, so your tyres being cold you could probably get away with. But is Fnatic fancying a move into turn 1 on the first lap? He's going to have to get a great start, and I really hope we get okay. And we've got a famous Codemasters glitch there with Destiny in a sideways position. Is he going to start like that? That's interesting. And if it causes chaos, then this could be a red flag situation. Because there looks to be a the Red Bull looks way too close to the Renault as well. But it's 5 lights, and away we go. And oh my god, Destiny. I think that's a desync on my part from Destiny, so they've actually, that wasn't on their screen, so that's fine, and there won't be a restart. But Marin's got a bit of a train. Alex PC up the inside of Casino, going into the mirror about here, but he's got the inside line, leaves plenty of room for... Oh no, sorry, it was Jesper. That was... Oh, I think I saw a bit of wing down at the Lowe's hairpin. Let's have a look at the leader. So Dim Blank's managed to keep his lead. That is crucial for him. Jesper very aggressive into Casino, but it's paid out wonderfully for him. He knew that was important. He's done very well. Bjorn went straight across the chicane there at the end of the tunnel and got a 5-second time penalty. Katamis and Schoen have retired. Wow. Wow. Bjorn with a 5-second stop go for a severe collision with Miles as well. That takes some effort to get that, trust me. Sinner with a 5-second time penalty, ignoring yellow flag. I'm sure he'll get that removed because he couldn't have done anything about that. But there's a virtual safety car. So Stinner, maybe, no, I don't think you can speed under the virtual safety car. I think you can be in the red delta, so I think that is a penalty that can be removed. Destiny says he's P1. I think he's just completely decent from the lobby, and yeah, that is a shame. But I mean, Schoen and Katamis both retiring in the same few seconds is very interesting, and I'm sure we will hear more from this. If it was between those two, then that would be very surprising, but the VSC has gone now, and Jim Blank has a 1.4 seconds lead. Marin, who showed good pace in qualifying, was about 1.8 seconds behind them, and Destiny is just ignore Destiny, folks. He's definitely not in P1. It's hard to know exactly where he is though, but that is a definite desync. I do know that Destiny has got a 1 bar connection quite often, so don't know if that's related, but it could be, it certainly could be. I'm just looking for comments between Katamis and Schoen, and Schoen is not happy with Katamis, I think. Spur as well. Katamis says Bjorn cut the chicane and drove into him. Well, he definitely got a time penalty, and that would make sense because that is what we saw. But I would really urge incidents to be sent into the stewards. I know it's the end of the season, but penalties can be carried over. It is a massive shame though. And Marin's DNF'd. So Marin very crash happy. Where is that? Must be Casino. Must have been at Casino. I see exactly when Stino overtakes him. Yeah, it's just just where he turned right, and it is so easy to turn in too early and lose a wheel there. I imagine that's what's happened there. Bjorn's still in the race but ghosting. I think he's thinking about quitting. Brennan with very bad lag on my screen. But that really has opened the door for people who aren't usually up there to get great points today. We'll just have a quick look at the table. Fanatics dropped back 3.3 seconds behind Bin Blank. Jesper surprisingly 5.3 seconds behind Fnatic on lap 5, so and still kissing the wall in the race, and and again, and it's so easy with full damage on just to pick up a bit of light green wing damage, a bit of yellow wing damage if you're not careful, and that really affects the whole race, and then you're going to have to start defending like mad, and it is very unpleasant for the guy behind you around Monaco to be stuck behind someone with wing damage, because it effectively ruins their race. They can't go, they're not going any further, and they have to make a move, but it's almost impossible. But I think he may have got away with it. Like, it's definitely light green, but I can't see. The end plates look okay, so. But I strongly would recommend to not kiss the wall in the race. I know that sounds very basic, but we're going to see Destiny fly up in the air here as the desync happens. Bin Blank very clean through Sandoval. Through Casino, that's where I think Marin binned it. Just turning him in a bit too early, sorry. Mirabel hairpin. Lowe's corner, Lowe's hairpin. Portier. And into the tunnel. And it has to be said that Bin Blank would have to do a masterclass not to win the Monaco Grand Prix now. He doesn't need to take any risks with the wall, he's got no need to push. Destiny's retired, which is great news for the leaderboard, not for him. Fnatic just can't seem to keep up, and he's really going to need a safety car or something. But Jesper has actually pitted. Is this wing damage? Yes, it is. I really hope that is the only wing he's going to need to get changed this race, because he's got good pace and can really score a good result here. He's going to come out in front of Brennan, so he's coming out in P6, he can get to the end. So he knows if he can just keep out of the walls, he's going to get P6 at least. Skinner, who I believe was pitted, is it? Showing him on the ultras. I think maybe he's on the supers and it's a glitch. No, he's in the ultras. It's interesting that he didn't go on the supers because you can take them to the end from virtually lap 1 really, so maybe he's just edging his bets, thinking maybe he's going to need to change a wing or something. Alex PC's pit very early and he's going to force drivers around him. Well, only really Fnatic to need to cover off the undercut. Sort of like Vettel and Hamilton at the Australian Grand Prix. Understeering a bit there with the colder tyres, completely understandable. Ooh, Fnatic hitting the wall. Wing looks okay, it doesn't look like it needs changing. How is Jesper doing? He's pushing very hard. His pace is good, he's sort of holding, even slightly gaining on Bin Blank. I know he's got fresher tyres, but they're supers and they're not much fresher than Bin Blank. Although Bin Blank is on hypers, that was Brennan hitting the wall at Casino. Maybe there was a bit of lag. Fnatic's in. Is he going to get his wing changed? No, he's not. It's great news for him. Bit confused with what happened with the tyres there. No, so he's gone supers. Hopefully he'll be getting those to the end. Skinner takes second place. Bin Blank's got a comfortable pit stop. It's over him. So interestingly, Katamis has posted some footage of his incident with Shone. And it would be great if I could see it. Show it. But Bin Blank has come out in the lead, going to the end. As I said, it's all in his hands. Only he can stop himself winning the Monaco Grand Prix and add to what's been a great season. And I'm sure we will be seeing Bin Blank TUF1 next season, although the step up is massive. But I would recommend to anyone with a chance for promotion to take it, because you can only get better and there is no shame in coming last in TUF1. I'm not saying he would, but for example, if he came last in TUF1 and he enjoyed winning in TUF2, then there's really nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, a win in TUF2, you can argue, is like getting a top 5 finish in TUF1, so I'm sure that is widely understood, so there's really no shame in going up. That sounds pretty obvious actually. Not no shame, but there's no downfall in going up. And you're only going to improve as a driver if you're competing with the best people around you. But there is uncertainty on when the next season will be starting. This is the penultimate Grand Prix of the second season in TUF on F1 2018, and due to people, I would say, just not really enjoying the game really, then the demand for racing is just, it's not as wide as it was, say, on F1 2017. So there is doubt over when next season will start, and maybe maybe it'll be delayed like Brexit has been, and we'll have to wait for later on in the year, maybe when the F1 2019 game comes out. So it is a massive shame, I believe personally, but it's completely understandable because the commitment hasn't been there. As Alex PC retires, and there is yellow flags. And we're down to 5 runners because Bjorn is not out of the race. I believe he's just in, I think he's just left the race. So we are down to 5 runners. I'm just watching Kasmi's first lap, and he is playing pinball with the wall around the casino. This is not the part which I am that interested in. I'm more interested in the chicane after the tunnel. Okay, so yeah, it was caused by Bjorn. He straight lined the chicane and he didn't like whack into Katami's that hard, but it was enough to send Katami's into the wall, and then Schoen was collected. So I don't think there was no malice by anyone. It was caused by Bjorn. Should have been a bit more careful when rejoining and not actually trying to overtake Katami's. But at the end of the day, that has caused only 5 runners to be left in the Monaco Grand Prix. Stinner's doing very well. He is pegging the gap to Bin Blank on slightly old ultras compared to Bin Blank's new supers. But still, I'm pretty sure Stinner's going to have to pit again. So it's irrelevant really, and Fnatic is in the net P2 at the moment. Jasper's in net P3 as well. So it could be a podium for Jasper, and I don't believe he's got one all season. No, I am wrong. Jasper won the first race of the season, but hasn't been on the podium since, so he'll be looking to do that. In terms of P2 in the championship, Fnatic, I believe, came P6 last week, so he is on 96 points. Stinner DNF, so Stinner's on 91. The others can't do it really. Well, Marin could have. He was on 68, but he's DNF, so at the moment the two people fighting for P2 are still both going. But it's definitely advantage Fnatic, who is 6 points ahead of Stinner with this and another race to go. So it's not going to be decided today. Unless Stinner bins it and Fnatic gets P2. Alex PC, his retirement came because he went into the pitch to repair, so he didn't have any choice but to retire. He's a reserve driver anyway, so the points don't really matter for him. It's more about getting a good result, and that really is not going to help when you've got to do an extra pit stop because the game doesn't fix your wing. So I understand his retirement. Tim Blank just with the fastest lap there. Extends his lead to Stinner, and Fnatic is closing on Stinner now. So Stinner 18 seconds ahead of Jesper. And that's getting a bit touch and go whether he's going to come out in front of him. Because it is quite it's a short pit lane, but it's also a slow speed limit as well, so I think it's going to be about 20 seconds. But if he does pit for a fresh set of ultras, he's going to be all over the back of him. And even though it's Monaco, the speed difference could be so much that he could find a place to get past. And that brings me on to a really fun conversation actually. Where are the overtaking spots around Monaco? Obviously here, Fnatic into this sort of chicane section, that's the most obvious one. But I like the less obvious ones. I think where Fnatic's coming out to now, into Rascat, there, I'll be inside. That can happen. If you've got good cooperation, then that can happen. Stinner's in, so let's see. But as you like, the speed limit's dead slow. And that is his 5-second time penalty, which he will be able to get removed from his race time, but he will not be able to change the track position. So that is very unfortunate. That's incredibly unfortunate, because as you can see, he is exactly 5 seconds behind Jesper. Wow. And there's nothing really the stewards can do about that. I mean, you can take off 5 seconds from his race time, but he doesn't have track position now, so he's going to lose more than 5 seconds, and the stewards cannot just remove time for being held up. So that's incredibly unfortunate for Stinner. And Jesper is not going to want to get out of the way of Stinner. He wants that final podium spot. Even if he did know the situation, then I don't think he... Well, there you go, he does. So that is... Well, it's wing damage. Maybe he's just getting it fixed anyway, or maybe he knows the situation and felt he knows he's going to get P5 at least, so he didn't want to get in the way of the battle for P2. We will find out, but it's quite strange that on the same lap we were talking about it, then he's come out, he's gone into the pits. He probably already had wing damage set to repair from his first incident, so that is great stuff from Jesper. And to be honest, it's more fun driving with a full wing. Because you just feel like you've got broken wings. You're not... The grip is not there. The turning's really slow to react. You're understeering everywhere. It's not as good as an experience, so it's understandable, but... Oh no! And Stinner, and that has happened to me before. You get on a fresh set of tyres and you start pushing really hard, you're finding time, you're going green, you're going purple, but you get a bit carried away and you have to change for wing damage, and Rip and Run is going to jump him. So Rip and Run has been very quiet. Pitted on lap 1, he pitted under the BSC on lap 1. Probably can go to the end. And at the moment he's going to get a podium. But saying that, Jesper, who knows very quick round here, is flying on those 1 lap hold ultras. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Why is... So Stinner's on 20 lap hold ultras. Maybe he just forgot to change the tyres, but still, that's really strange. I don't think it's an option to put old tyres on. Because he was already... Ah, no, it is an option because he changed tyres. So he's going to have to make another stop, probably. Well, yeah, definitely he's going to have to come in. Yeah. Oh, that is... Things go from bad to worse for Stinner. And he just needs to pray that Fnatic puts it in the wall. And Fnatic, all he needs to do is keep it out of the wall. And he is going to go into the final race with an 18-point lead in the battle for P2. Well, no, 18 point, no, what was it? It was 8 points, 18 for second, 10 for... It's going to be a 16-point lead going into the final race, so Stinner's going to need second and the Fnatic DNF, or a Fnatic 9th, or he's going to need to win and Fnatic third and 7th, and that is, based on what I've seen, that is very unlikely. The next race is France. It's an all-European calendar. It's quite hard to pick up terminal damage around France unless you have a really bad incident with someone, but as you know, the runoffs are massive. You're not going to run into a barrier anywhere. Literally you're not. I'm just trying to think in my head now, but you'd have to have a severe brakes failure to even get close to a barrier, really, apart from the pit wall. So it would have to be a collision with another car, and that can usually be avoided 90% of the time. Oh no! Jasper's DNF with 12 laps to go, 13 laps to go. Is it Casino? Rippenman still hasn't overtaken him yet. Yeah, it must be Casino. He's probably turned in too early on the right hander here. Yeah. Ooh! Stinner very almost got collected there. Didn't actually move the steering wheel, but he was still only about a few centimetres away. They did well. That's good news for Stinner. That's an extra 2 points. And Rippenman's actually pitted as well, so he's not going to go to the end. They're going to be lapped soon as well. I think they have been lapped. Yeah, Rippenman and Stinner have been lapped. Matthew's doing a good job. He's in 22nd time Bin Blank. I know I'm saying only 20 seconds, but Bin Blank's looked unbeatable today, so it's not too bad. So what is that? It's just under a second a lap as well. It's about 0.7 a lap. And let's have a look at position gains. You can see Rippenman up 9, just for keeping out the barriers, really. Stinner as well, although he did have an incident on lap 1. Oh, 3-second time penalty there. Are we going to get a bit of action here? I think we are. Some surprise action in the 4-man Monaco Grand Prix. Now, oh yeah, that reminds me. The conversation about where to make an overtake in Monaco, the unlikely places. Turn 1? No, not really. Max Verstappen thinks it's possible. I think he learnt his lesson well there. I don't think it is, it's just too short of a braking zone, and then the corner, it's actually like a 3rd or 4th gear corner. It's not a slow enough corner to do it. Ooh, Stinner turning a bit early there, but kept out the wall. That's an okay place. Mirabeau, that's an okay place. Lowe's hairpin, yeah, you can do that there. Again, very, very tough. And then Jensen Button up the inside of who was it again? I mentioned it earlier. That was Berline inside of Portier. Very opportunistic. I've never seen that before. He almost pulled it off, but it's too tight. But that is the best place there. To back, not really, unless you get a really good run. But this is my favourite place, Rascasse. This is where you've seen. I think it was the two Lotuses collide one year. I think the Sauber of Nazar, and I don't think it was Gutierrez. I don't think it was, but Felipe Nazar's teammate in the blue Sauber. Maybe it was Marcus Ericsson, you know. But yeah, they pretty much stopped on Rascasse whilst taking, because they didn't give each other enough space. No one wants to be passed at Monaco at Rascasse. They'd rather crash than that happen. So, but I think the move is on. Decent run here, but no way. Out of respect for another human would you try that from that far back, but here we go. He's got a nice run now, and rip and run. Seemed to have lifted a little bit there. And Stinner's through. And the action is dead, I'd say. Because pace-wise, I expect Stinner to get away, but Stinner, as you can see, is 57 seconds behind Fnatic, so it's not a gap. Even with 9 laps to go, it's not even thinkable. The only possible problem is penalties. I saw them both pick up, so Rip and Run's got 1 penalty. Stinner's only got 1. The penalty at the top was for his 5-second stop go, which he doesn't need to send in now, which is good news for him because it's not going to affect him, and it hasn't affected him. Fnatic 3-second time penalty, but barring any moments of loss of concentration, this will be, such as that, this will be the final result of Monaco. I think Fnatic's got a bit of front right end plate wing damage, but that's fine. He's got a 55-second gap before he came into Stinner. One thing that could have unstuck him there is this happened to me once. I went into the pits. It's only happened to me once in this game. It happened to me in a league race. I went into the pits and it did not release me. I was releasing the clutch, not the crutch. So releasing the clutch, pressing forward, and it did not let me go. And that was the end of my race. I found out if that ever happens to you, apparently what you need to do is pause it and then go back in the game. I stupidly didn't do that. I think I was too mad. But apparently that should fix it. It's not 100% though. It could just be the end of your race, so yeah, and that's, I suppose, Codemasters would argue that's realistic, because there's always risk in pit stops. But no, You shouldn't just be getting held for no reason, but I can see, yeah, it is risking pit stops. Spinner. It's not even worth pushing to try and catch up with Fnatic. It's just touring now. But it isn't worth it because you're only going to get wing damage and possibly fall behind Rip and Run and lose 3 more points to Fnatic. You can't really put any pressure on him. Can't gain at 3 or 4 seconds a lap. But I'm sure next week will be a lot more interesting. Monaco could always be like this, and especially with that first lap incident. Mainly between Bjorn, Schoen and Katamis, 3 people taken out in 1 hit. That was massive. Spur also retired. Whether it was the same incident, I don't know. Destiny had horrible lag problems. Possibly caused his DNF. Still don't know. Brennan again was a bit lagged. Don't know about his DNF. Jesper binned it at Casino. Miles, not sure. Marin binned it at Casino. Alex PC had a pit stop issue. Codemaster didn't change his wing and was too far out of contention, and yeah, you could say he still could have got some points, but he is a reserve driver, so that's not why he came today. He wanted something more memorable like a podium, and that was out the window as soon as that happened. But I'm sure these lads will be glad when it's over. It is very grueling doing 39 laps in Monaco. Especially on the wheel. But even on the pads, like mentally it is draining. But I guess that is realistic. That is what it's like in real life. Right, you've still got conversation between Katamis and Schoen going on about the incident. I'm gonna need to see this again. I'm gonna need to see it again. Just because the race is at low. Oh no! As I said, has pitted yet again for wing damage. It must have been wing damage because there's no fastest lap prize in this game. So we did a... It's hard to tell by sector times. It's really hard to tell. He lost 18 seconds and then another 2 seconds in sector 1, so he lost 20 seconds. I don't know whether... I don't think he needed to pit there really. I think he could have just held on, could have held off Rip and Run. And now he's pushing because he wants to catch back up to Rip and Run. He's going to be very quick on the hypers, but he needs to be careful. Yeah, he's backed off. I don't know if you can hear me, but he has backed off. No, I think he's going fastest lap, you know. He was just psyching himself up at the end of the lap. Very disappointing. I mean, in terms of P2, and I do know it is something that the guys want, then that's 3 more points to Fnatic. Although saying that, he has taken 2 seconds. 2 seconds out of Rip and Run in Sector 1 alone. Let me show you guys. That's crazy. Rip and Run 20.0 first, Sector 1. Stinner 18.7. Okay, so not quite 2 seconds, but it will be now. Doesn't want to hit the wall at the exit to back too much and get light green wing damage. Really affects your waist space. I think he would have got away with that. Gap's down to 6.9. If he keeps going, 6.4. If he keeps going at this rate, and there's the fastest lap. But if he keeps going at this rate, he could catch Rip and Run. I know they're both laps though, so no, Vin Blank's on lap 38. They've just started lap 37. So yeah, they've both got 2 laps left. Maybe Stinner hasn't taken that into account, but yes, he'll say lap 37 on his screen, and he'll be thinking, well, I've got the required rate here, but no, because he's been lapped. Gap's down to 4.7, so he's taken out 4 or 5 seconds in 1 lap, and he's got a lap and a half left. But I would love to see a dive at on the last lap upside of Raskas. I mean, yeah, I think the Katami shown instant and Bjorn. I think Bjorn that really doesn't help the situation by coming across the chicane, but if Katami left a little bit more room, I know it was hard because it was quite late that he saw Bjorn, then they wouldn't have squeezed each other into the wall. But I mean, it's Monaco, these things happen really. But Stinner, 2.3 seconds. I think it's going to be a little too late. I haven't seen any extra penalties. Just does not want to get terminal damage, because it's not like real F1, you'll be classified. This is league racing, you will not be classified if you bend it on the last corner. Oh, and you can see Rip and Run, but he's just too far back to make a move. Is Rip and Run going to let him through? No, he's not. Fair play. Penalties doesn't change anything. So Stinner's he's gonna get P4. But apologies to Vin Blank, who wins. Very professional drive. He showed up, he got it done. He's won the championship, but he's shown up. And he's got the win under his belt. He didn't need to do it, but he wins Monaco. It's great stuff from him. It really is. Like, to sign up for a 39 lap race in Monaco when you've already won the title, you shouldn't be thinking anything otherwise, and he hasn't, so that's great stuff from him. And a prestigious race to win. So it was massive congratulations. But also to Fnatic and Rip and Run, great stuff. And Stinner, of course, but I mean, he'll be disappointed. I'm not going to go through the other drivers, but the people that will be classified are Vin Blanken first, Fnatic second, Rip and Run third, Stinner fourth. And you can have a look at all the other retirements. And these guys will all be disappointed, especially Jesper, actually, who was on for a podium but got terminal damage with about 12 laps to go. Well, there you have it. Driver of the day, definitely Rip and Run. Just kept out of the wall and that's what he gets. He gets a podium for keeping it out of the wall. That's literally all it was. So from P12 as well, you know, you've got people when you start at the back, and it can get you down, but that's what can happen if you just keep it clean. So I hope to see you guys next week for the finale. Nothing too much to play for, just P2. I think 14 points. Yeah, 14 points behind between Fnatic and Stinner. So we will see you next time. Well, cheers, guys. Have a good evening.